So let's jump into the demo session quickly. Right. So you want to learn the German language for some job switch, right? So see, the language itself is divided into multiple levels from A1 till C2. So A1 is your most basic level, right? So that the things that we learned in the kindergarten for English, same or something else and something more we learn along with that for the A1 level. Then A2 level, it is more of your elementary level. Okay. B1, B2, you can call it as your high school level of the language. C1 level, once you're going, so you will be like not native level, but you will be fluent. As a foreigner, you will be absolutely fluent in that. But C2 level comes when we achieve the native proficiency in the language. Maybe in English, Indians have C1 and C2 commonly because we have been close to the English language since our childhoods, right? So, any language, we start with the A1 level. So, this course will also cover the A1 level topics that are there in the German language, right? So, Sagarika, could you quickly see the words on your screen and try to pronounce them as Deutsch und Deutschland?
Deutsch and Deutschland.
Akila, is the pronunciation Deutschland correct, or is there something that should be corrected? So she said,
Deutsch und Deutschland.
yeah. So the R is more, you know, uh, more emphasized, right? So we'll look into the alphabets in a bit way, right? But first, let's look at the countries which speak the German language, right? So same like any other language, German language also has different variations, right? So in Germany, they speak some different accent and some different dialects. Okay, in Austria, they speak completely different, and in Switzerland, they also speak German, but they have their own version. They call it as Swiss German, right? So, but what we learn for the A1, A2 levels for the Goethe examinations is called as Hochdeutsch or Standard German. In English, we call that as Standard German. So, Standard German is the type of German that is written in the books, in the documents, in the literature, in the newspapers. That's the Hochdeutsch standard that we can learn. Even for your Telugu and Hindi languages, there are multiple dialects, but we have a standard version through which we communicate in by the means of maybe books, newspapers, and all of those things. Those are the standard version of any language, right? So here we also learn the standard German, which is called as Hochdeutsch. And if you see this abbreviation somewhere, just know this means all these three countries which speak the German language. So this is just an abbreviation for Deutschland, Austria, and Schweiz. It means Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, right? And the objectives of this course would be to, again, as I said, the building the elementary level of knowledge for this German language. So what is the elementary level? Interacting with your friends, family, giving an introduction of yourself. What do you do and where do you come from, and understanding and answering questions. So basic questions, what's the time, where are you going, things like that. So that covers your A1 level, okay? And along with the words and everything, we'll also go through the grammar topics, right? So let's look at the course structure, how it starts and how it should end ideally, right? So greetings and alphabets, we'll go through them first. So what are the greetings? Basic ones, good day, good evening, things like that. And alphabets, there are 30 letters in the German alphabet. If you know English, there are only already 26. They are same, but there are four extra. We'll discuss that later on, right? And for numbers, we have to do only from 1 till 20. If you know from 1 till 20, so you can do the rest by making everything else, right? And weeks and months. So again, Monday, Tuesday, things like that, and January, February, we'll do it. So Monday, Tuesday actually is very easy. It's called as Montag, Dienstag. So if you practice them a couple of times, you'll be able to memorize it. Same with months. It's called as Januar, February. So see, it's very similar to January, February. So like that, if you know English, it's much helpful to build the basic vocabulary in the German language, especially when it comes to the weekdays and months. Okay. And then we have the timings. So time has two ways of being told. So official and unofficial. So official is your 12-hour clock, 12 hour, and we have 24 hour clock. So sorry, 12 hour is the unofficial and 24 is the official. So we learn to tell time in both of the manners, official and unofficial both, right? So these will be the basic 5 to 6 topics, right? After that, we'll move to the more grammar side of things. Okay, so now we come to the nominative, accusative, and dative. So, Athila, could you elaborate on what is nominative, accusative, and dative here?
Yeah, accusative is like the direct in the sentence,
Yeah, direct object.
direct object, and then nominative is the subject in a sentence,
Mm-hmm.
and then dative is like the verb.
Dative is the indirect object,
Indirect.
right? So basically, these are nothing but synonyms for subject, direct object, and indirect object, right? So, as we discussed yesterday, Akhila, you might remember, I gave an example of I am eating an apple. Let's take a sentence, right? So, Sagarika, could you tell me what is the nominative and what is the accusative here? Meaning, what is the subject and what is the direct object here in this sentence? I am eating an apple.
Eating will be the subject and apple will be the direct object.
Apple, you said direct object. That's absolutely correct. But what is the subject? Subject is the person who's doing the
I
action
am.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I am.
so this is the subject, and subject is just a synonym for nominative. Means whatever is the subject, it is the nominative. So I is the nominative here. We can write N, right? Now, what is the accusative direct object? As you said, an apple. So this is your accusative. So we can write A here. Now let's take another sentence. For example, if I say the sentence, I am giving the pen to him, right? Here, Akila, could you elaborate on the nominative, accusative, and dative in this sentence?
Nominative is I.
Mhm.
Dative is pen.
The pen is the direct object here, so it will be the accusative.
Accusative.
Yeah, and here the person who is receiving the object, so he is the indirect object, right? So he is the dative.
Indirect. Yeah.
Yeah, I am giving the pen to him. So the pen is the object, and I am the doer, so I am the subject. And who's receiving it? Him. So anyone, male, right? So him here is the indirect object. Naturally, we can call it as dative because these are just synonyms of each other. Accusative means direct object, dative means indirect object, and nominative means the subject, right? So, why do we need to learn this again? Because when we say sentences like, I am eating an apple, so subject, then eating verb is coming, then object is coming. So, nominative verb and accusative, or subject, verb, object, SVO, like this. So, in German also, we have the same structure, although there are exceptions, times when this order is not what we have to follow. But generally, while making statements like I am eating an apple or something, we tend to follow the subject, verb, object syntax, right? So we will follow that in the German language as well. And that comes under your nominative, accusative, and dative. Apart from that, what else do we need to converse in a language? We need the W questions. Okay, so what, when, why, or even how, and all of this comes in the W Frage of the German language. So we learn to form questions with what, when, and things like that. Okay. Then we are having the verbs, right? So here, eating, drinking. Okay. So if we don't know the verbs, can we make sentences? No. So definitely we need to do the basic verbs. For example, eating, drinking, sitting, standing, all of this we will cover and how to use them because I am, I eat, but he eats. So there's a difference in the conjugation, right? I eat, but he eats. The same things, similar sort of variations will happen in other languages as well based on your pronouns. So we'll also learn in the topic of the verbs, right? Now, after that, we'll talk about prepositions. So prepositions are the connectors or the building elements of the sentences. For example, if I say the bottle is kept on top of the table, so here on top of or on is the preposition. Or I am sleeping inside the house, right? So here inside, right? So this is the preposition. So in, on top of, in front of, all of these things we require, initially to learn. We need to learn all of this so that we can make sentences. So we learn prepositions along with the verbs and the nouns and everything else, right? And for the tenses in your A1 level, there are only two tenses: present and present perfect. So present tense, what we generally say, I'm going, I go, like that. And present perfect tense, it is that tense which shows that the action has been completed just now. So for example, I kept the box on the table, so that action has been completed recently, right? So that's present perfect. So we learn the present perfect and present tense. For A1 only, these two are required. We don't need the future tense and the past and the past perfect. We don't need all of that, right? Now, talking about the imperative sentences. So, sentences can be classified into three ways based on the punctuations, right? So, what are the punctuations? The full stop, the question mark, and the exclamation mark, right? So, Akhila, could you elaborate what do we call the sentence when we use a full stop? What is it called? It's called a
Sentence.
it's called a statement sentence.
Yeah.
Statement is a type of sentence. So when we put a full stop, it's a statement. When we put a question mark, it's a question, right? So when we put a question mark, what does it show? It shows that this sentence is a question, right? And similarly, when we put this one exclamation mark, it shows that sentence is called as an imperative. So now what is an imperative? Any request or any order. For example, if I say go there, come here, don't run, jump off, okay, please fetch me the water, please come to my birthday party. All of these are imperative sentences because they are involving any kind of request or order. So they will be denoted not by full stop or question mark. They'll be denoted by the exclamation mark, and they are called imperative sentences, right? So we also need this. After discussing all of these topics and chapters, basically it will be chapter wise. After that, we'll just have the exam discussion. So what is the exam discussion? So Sagarika, have you ever been through the modules about IELTS or something?
No.
No. So every language exam, whether it be English IELTS or TOEFL or German Goethe exam or
Like
French,
four half.
yeah, four
That
modules.
I
Yeah, writing, reading, listening, and speaking. And each one of these will be for 15 minutes for your A1 level, 15 minutes of time for each one, right? And what you have to do here, you have to score more than 60% of the marks in order to pass. Not 40%, not 50%, 60%. So 60% of 15 marks, 15 questions mostly. So that comes 8 or more than 8. But we have to target the score of 11, 12, something like that. So once you start scoring 12, 13 like this, okay, after that you can be comfortable and you can go and book your slot and get the exams, right? So this is how the whole course, as far as A1 is concerned, works here at our Abhyas Institute, right? And about the apps, there is one highly useful app. It's called as dict.cc. You can download this. In this app, you can just go and translate from German to English or English to German or French to German or any other language. So here we need German to English or English to German. So we definitely keep this app because it comes handy, right? And the pattern, again, so we'll have live interactive sessions like we're having today. Then we'll have discussions and I'll provide you with the handouts and the assignments. So maybe we discuss today prepositions, accusative prepositions. So I'll explain the topic and give you notes and everything. Then After the class, you'll have definitely an assignment and some handouts about whatever the lecture was, right? So let's start with the basic greetings. Okay, Akila, please proceed with the pronunciation of all the 5 greetings here so that Sagarika can repeat after you. And greetings, they are called as Begrüßungen. Okay, so Begrüßungen is called as greetings.
Yeah. So for hello, it's hallo. Good morning is Guten Morgen. Good day is Guten Tag. And good evening is Guten Abend. Good night is Gute Nacht.
Yeah, Sagarika, could you repeat those?
Yeah. For hello, it is hallo. For good morning, it is guten Morgen. Good day is guten Tag.
Guten
Uh,
Tag. Yeah. So
Guten
whenever
Tag.
we see the A, it's R. Guten Tag.
Okay. Okay. Then it is guten Abend.
Huh?
Abend. Yeah. What would be? Okay.
Yes.
And for good night, it is gute Nacht.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again.
Can you just again tell me properly about his good night one?
So, hallo, guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend, and gute Nacht with the K. So, Nacht. The CH here is the K
Is
sound.
silent.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not silent, it's K. Yeah.
Okay.
So, go through them once again, please.
Should I tell you once or what?
Yeah. Go through them once again.
Okay, it is Hallo, Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend, Guten Nacht.
Gute Nacht. So, there's a T at the end here as well. Right.
Okay, Guten Nacht. Okay.
Now, let's look at the alphabet. So, as we discussed in the course structure, right, 5 minutes ago, that there are 30 letters in the German alphabet here from A to Z, same as English. Here we have A with the 2 dots, O with the 2 dots, and U with the 2 dots, and this beta looking thing. So let's discuss this first. So these 2 dots on A, O, and U, these vowels you see, these dots, what are they called, Akila?
Umlauts.
Yeah, these are called umlauts. Right. So let's look at the A and A. So what is the purpose of these umlauts? They introduce the y sound to the vowel. So without the vowel, what is this? A. I mean, without the umlaut, what is this vowel? A. And with the umlaut, what is it becoming? A. So y sound is getting introduced. Same with O. Without the umlaut, O is O. But with the umlaut, O is becoming yo. So the y sound is coming into the picture. Let's go to U. Without the umlaut, it is oo. Not U, it is oo. And with the umlaut, it is becoming U. And this beta sign that we see here, it is called as S set. And the pronunciation that we do for this one is of double S. So, for example, if I write the word right, no, this would be, let's take a simpler one. Yeah, could you try to pronounce this one, Sagarika? So this is double S. Just think of it like double S. This one here means double S sound.
Sorry, I didn't get it properly.
This beta sound here, we pronounce it as double S. So think of this spelling like this. Think of it like this. What should be the pronunciation?
Spats,
Spas.
spats, yeah.
Spas. So this is also spas because this means the double S sound. Okay. So these are the extra letters that are present apart from A to Z. Now, these symbols that we call as A, B, and C, the A, B, and C pronunciation for these symbols is only for the English language. Originally, they are the Roman script, right? This symbol, this symbol, this symbol, all of this comes from the Roman script, not from the English language. So German language also uses the Roman script, but the pronunciation of this script is different from English. So it is, instead of A, B, C, D, it is pronounced as A, B, C, D. So Akila would go through all of the pronunciations and you have to listen carefully and repeat once she is done with all the 30. You have to repeat starting from A and ending at S set. Okay? Akila, you can start.
Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T,
T.
T, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, E, U, Z.
Right. So I'll repeat it once again. Okay. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So let's pause at J a little bit. See, this J sound, the J sound, the sound which we make in Japan, German, jacket, this J sound is not present in the German phonetics. So when we spell this, instead of calling it Japan, Germans call it as Japan. So that is why J in English, but yacht in German, because no concept of the J sound in the German language, right? So yacht, ka, and L, M, N, O, same as English, L, M, N, O. Then pay, ku, air, S, again same, te, u, pau, we, x, epsilon, set, a, yo, u, and s set, right? So please move on and repeat all of these 30 letters.
Okay. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P,
Pay. Right.
Q,
So
R,
after O,
S,
please pause a little bit. Please pause. After O, it is pay.
P. Okay.
Yeah.
P, Q, R, S, K, U, V, W, X, Epsilon, Z, E, U,
See,
U,
it's A.
Z.
A and A. Okay.
A.
Please repeat from epsilon again.
Okay. Epsilon, Z, A, U, U, Z.
Okay. Akila, could you spell your name in the German alphabet? So my name is Ammar, so I'll show it once. So it will be spelled as A M M A Air, right? So my name is AMMAR, Ammar. It will be spelled as A M M A Air. Similarly, Akila, could you spell your name?
Yeah, A, K, H, I, L, A.
Yeah. So could you also do that, Sagarika, spelling your name? Yeah. Start with S. S is S only.
Okay. S, Sa, G, A, R,
Air. It's air, right?
R,
As with
S.
air.
Okay. Sa, K, A, S.
It's not Sa. See S, then A. So S, A, G, like that.
Okay. S, Sa, A, G, Then again it is A. A, H, L,
E. Sagarika.
sorry, I, okay, yeah, E, K, Pa, A, A, A.
Yeah. Once more, please.
Okay, S, A, K, A, R, E, Pa, A.
Yeah. So now could you spell the word uh, phone? Phone. In English, it is phone. But what should be in German?
Phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
The word phone.
P, Ha,
Yeah. P O. Acha, P.
phone.
Ha.
P,
Phone.
Ha, O, N, E, L.
A.
Sorry, A.
E is called as A. So phone
Okay.
ends with A. Right. So let's pronounce now cat. The word cat.
Say,
P A
T.
and T. Yeah, cat. Let's do purse. Purse. Purse.
P, U, R, S, A.
Yeah, good. So like this, we can spell different names and different objects in the German alphabet as well. And here, please go on and read this sentence that you can see on the screen. Yeah, this sentence. Kannst du bitte deinen Namen buchstabieren? Could you both repeat this one after one? Okay, let's start with Achila. Kannst du bitte deinen Namen buchstabieren?
Kannst du bitte deinen Namen buchstabieren?
Buch. So, K. Okay, buchstabieren.
Buchstabieren.
Okay, next student.
Kannst du bitte deinen Namen buchstabieren?
Yeah. So that means, can you spell your name, please? So you can say yeah. And again, in German, one thing you can do is to learn yes and no to also. Yeah means yes. Nein means no. So if someone asks, kannst du bitte deinen Namen buchstabieren? You can say yeah, and then spell your name like that. Okay. Right. So this was about the alphabets. Now let's move on to more greetings. Right. So these are few of the more greetings that we can use in our everyday lives. Right. So I'll go on and pronounce all of these greetings. Then both of you can alternate and do the same. So tut mir leid, sorry or sorry. Bis bald, again see you soon. Bis später means see you later. Bis gleich, see you right after or immediately. And here we have Entschuldigen Sie and Entschuldigung. So Entschuldigen Sie and Entschuldigung, here the Z means it is a formal sentence. So if you understand Hindi, it is working like aap, right? So when we say to someone who is senior to us, or maybe our parents or our professor or our boss, so we'll use the Entschuldigen Sie, means this is a formal sentence. But Entschuldigung, you can say to your friends. Okay. Now you can pronounce all of these greetings, starting with Sagarika.
For sorry, it is tut mir leid. See you soon is
Here. Okay.
is
Right. Es tut mir leid, bis bald,
okay.
bis später, bis gleich. Entschuldigen Sie, Entschuldigung.
Okay. Tut mir leid. Bis bald. Bis später. Bis gleich. Es sorry, Entschuldigung, Entschuldigen Sie,
Mm-hmm.
Entschuldigung.
Gung, right? So it's Entschuldigung here, and this is bis später. So it's starting with the sh sound. Okay, später and Entschuldigung. Okay. Uh, could you do the pronunciation once again?
So from starting, I'll say,
Yeah, from Tut mir leid.
okay. Tut mir leid, bis bald, bis später, später,
Sh. So start with the sh.
bis später.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, bis gleich,
Again, gleich.
gleich. Okay,
Sh.
sure. Okay, bis gleich. This is little bit confusing. Entschuldigen,
Oh, yeah.
Entschuldigen
Sie.
Sie, Entschuldigung. Gung.
Okay, next student.
Yeah.
Student, please. Yeah.
Tut mir leid, bis bald, bis später, bis gleich, Entschuldigung Sie, Entschuldigung.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. So again, shoes means buy in an informal way, right? And off Wiedersehen when you're saying buy in person. But if you're on the phone, like we are right now, we are not on the live video call or live in-person meet. So we can say auf Wiederhören, right? So shoes, auf Wiedersehen, and auf Wiederhören. And here, danke, again, thank you. But here also the informal thank you, danke. If you have to say it more formally, you say danken Sie. So same like Entschuldigung and Entschuldigen Sie, danke and danken Sie. Two variations. Okay. So go on with the pronunciation with this all these five expressions here. Yes, Sagarika, you can start with the shoes and
Shoes of Wiedersehen, which sehen. So can you
of
just again
so,
repeat it?
yeah. So see when you're seeing the S here, it's more of like the sound, the, not sa. So of wieder sehen, sehen,
Okay.
not sehen. Okay.
Mm, okay. Shoes of Wiedersehen, of Wiederhören.
Hear it. So see,
Okay.
as we discussed in the alphabet part, that the umlaut changes the vowel and it adds the ear sound. So heoren. So with the ear, heoren. Yeah, heoren.
Of Wiederhören, danken Sie.
Okay, good. Uh, next student.
Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, auf Wiederhören.
Yeah. Mhm.
Danke Sie.
Danken Sie. Okay, there's an N here. Right. So let's go and do all of the Begrüßungen, right? All of the greetings, and we shall see how many we can pronounce perfectly, right? So start from Hallo and end here till Danken Sie. So we can start with Akhila, you can do first, then Niharika, Sagarika, you can follow her after she's done with all of them, right? So once every student completes the whole pronunciations, we'll be done, right? So Akhila, you can start now.
Hallo, guten Morgen, guten Tag, guten Abend, gute Nacht. Tut mir leid, bis bald, bis später, bis gleich. Entschuldigen Sie, Entschuldigung. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, auf Wiederhören. Danke, danken Sie.
Okay, so you said everything very good, but the wieder Hioren again, the Horen and Hioren thing. Okay, so try to focus on it. Focus on the umlaut here, right?
O is spelled like A.
No, no, no. See, off. You said off with a Horen like that. So ho without the umlaut. Hio. So Hioren and Horen. Yeah, there's a difference, right? Very minor difference, but there is a difference. And that difference comes with the umlaut. So when there is an umlaut, it becomes Hioren. If there were no umlaut, it would have been Horen. But with the umlaut, Hioren. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Next to it.
Yeah, it is Hallo, Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend, Good Good Nacht,
Gute Nacht. Okay.
Gute Nacht. So it tut mir leid, bis bald, bis später, bis gleich, entschuldigen Sie, Entschuldigung, Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, auf Wiederhören, danke, danken Sie.
Right. So Sagarika, you are I mean you need more practice with the später. See, you said the sh here, right? But when we see the A again here, right? So it's elongated. So später. So more emphasis on the A sound here, right? Später. Okay, and then the CH here is sh. So not glide, it's gleich. So the sh should be
Okay.
there at the end. This gleich. And here when we see German is a very phonetic language, meaning in English when we write and if we write this Entschuldigung, we don't say like that. We say Gang. So that thing is coming here. But when we are writing U, we'll say the full U sound. So Entschuldigung. We'll say like that. Okay. Right.
Entschuldigung. Okay. That would be bis gleich.
Right. So could you do this page once again?
Yeah. So first will be tut mir leid, bis bald, bis später, bis gleich, entschuldigen Sie, Entschuldigung.
Yeah, that's much better. So this is how the pronunciation works. Right.